What's going on? Dylan Conrad, Metabolic as Fuck. Today I'm going to talk to you about 5 things that going viral on Instagram taught me about women's fat loss. Before we get into that, if you're watching YouTube, please like, subscribe, turn notifications on, Spotify, iTunes, hit that bell button, leave a review. All helps the algo. So yeah, I went viral, hardcore. My goal in the last 30 days, actually in August, was not to really go viral. My goal was just like, I want to drive more engagement and I want to increase my engagement by posting every single day. And now posting every day actually turned into posting twice a day, and posting twice a day actually turned in next week to posting 3 times a day. And these reels that I make, they take time. Like, I do B-roll, I do captions, I edit them myself, like I shoot it myself, like I script everything. Like, it takes time, right? And so I increased every single month. I would get like 500 or 1,000 new followers on Instagram. This past 30 days, I got 10,500. And I'm going to show you what I've learned, how I did it, and what it taught me about women's fat loss. So the number one thing that it taught me is volume solves all problems. So the first week that I was doing these posts, I was just doing them daily. And then I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do this twice a day and see what happens. And so I started doing it twice a day. And whether the Instagram algorithm started favoring me because they saw how active I was, or I was posting more content so I had more opportunities to go viral. So for example, before I was posting about maybe 20 times a month. And then going from that to, I think in the last month I posted about 50 different reels. That allowed me to, what I think, obviously, yeah, there's there's the saying, right? The harder you work, the more lucky you're gonna get, right? And so I was working my ass off, and I do believe the universe answered that in some woo-woo ways, but I also feel like practice makes perfect. And I practiced a ton with shooting these reels, with editing them, seeing what was working, what wasn't working. I was getting lifetime feedback, and I was able to get really, really good, really, really fast. And that goes into women's fat loss, because the more you can practice the exercise, the habits, the daily chopping wood, the boring shit, the more practice you get, and the more you mess up and try different things and try it this way and try it that way. Okay, this way didn't work for hitting my macros, but let me try this. Okay, that didn't work. Okay, the more you try it and the more you mess up, not mess up, but like need to figure out different solutions, the better you're going to get, the quicker, right? And so with viral, it's like I've been posting on Instagram for like, I don't know, like 5 years, you know, maybe the last 3 years consistently, but it was the last 4 weeks that I really started just doing a ton of activity, and activity can overwhelm any problems that you're having. So that's number one, is like the volume of you and the repetition is going to solve all problems. The better you're going to get, the quicker. Okay. We all want to see results. Why not just work our ass off, do more things so we can get those results quicker? Okay. That was number one. Number two, it always takes more effort than you think it's going to. So I was like, oh, okay, like I'm going to shoot like 2 reels a day. And I was like, okay, like I have to script these. I have to plan them all out. I have to figure out what I'm going to say. I have to do some research on, you know, what's working and not working on Instagram and TikTok. I have to shoot them. I have to edit them. I have to put captions to them. I have to think of like a clickbait title and all these things. I was like, huh, okay, this is like effort. And I was always thinking like, oh, like I'll eventually just go viral. Or I was like thinking in my head, like making every excuse. Oh, people just don't like me because I'm a man talking to women, or, you know, I don't look like this, or I'm not outspoken enough, or I don't have a good enough, you know, system. And I was like, that's all fucking bullshit. That's just excuses for me to be comfortable not gaining as much traction, as much engagement as I could have been. So it took a lot of effort though to do all these things. And for women's fat loss, right, a lot of the women that come into our program, they think, oh, I just need the diet and the training. I don't need accountability. They're like, no, like that's exactly what you need. And because it's going to take a lot more effort to actually adhere to that nutrition training plan, they all just think, oh, I'm getting this nutrition training plan, everything's solved. It's like, no. Like, you have to put effort into that. And the way you're going to put effort into that is actually someone holding you accountable for it, right? Because you just doing it on your own, getting a plan, like you can get that off the fucking internet, right? And maybe not a great one, but you could get one off the internet argumentatively stick to 100% and still see 70% of the results you would see on our program, right? So it always takes more effort than you think it's going to. Okay, so be ready for that. I'm not going to sugarcoat it and try to just sell you the vacation here. Like, it's fucking hard work. Like, the plane flight is not always the best one. There's going to be ups and downs, all right? So, number 3, mental health issues are very real. Very, very real. I spend time with my staff of 15. I spend time with my family of 5. 2 of them don't really talk because they're 4 months old. I spend time, I have 4 friends from high school that I still talk to, and I talk to like some other people here and there, right? So I'm pretty much in like a bubble of isolation. Like, yeah, I talk to my clients, and I talk to, although I don't really coach anymore, I talk to the clients, I talk to a lot of people. It's you know, I have 8 people I still talk to. So but it's like, I realized that I'm in this like bubble, and mental health issues worldwide are a thing. Like, people are really fucking struggling, like really struggling. And I didn't know that and really didn't see it until I was getting people who were very emotionally unstable engage with my content and DM me. It got to the point where I was like, babe, like, I don't know, you know, am I putting our family at risk because I'm putting everything out there? People can see my kids. People can see kind of like where I live. I mean, I'm sure if someone was psychotic enough, they can probably figure out my home in my area that I lived in, right? And so she was like, no, you're an idiot. But like, it got to the point where I'm like, okay, fuck, like someone is psychotic enough to actually probably hunt me down, you know, if I piss them off enough. And it was the other day, I didn't answer this woman's message within 30 minutes, and she couldn't find my LLC because my business name isn't in my LLC. My business name is DC Fitness. I do, like, my LLC is Dylan Conrad Fitness LLC, which I changed the business name as DBA because I didn't want to be, because I realized as I wasn't coaching anymore, I'm like, okay, well, I can't really be the name here, right? Because that'd be pointless. So, but she couldn't find that, and she went on this onslaught and called me a scammer. She called me, she said my engagement's horrible, you know, that like I'm a fraud and a fake. Mind you, this is someone we just booked a call off of Instagram and was going to meet with our program design specialist, not a client. I could understand if it was like, oh, she started the program, she paid for it, and then there was something that happened there, right? And maybe she wasn't getting the fulfillment, maybe like didn't book her orientation, like something fell through the cracks on our end. But like a scammer, someone who like just fucking takes your money. I didn't take any money from her. So she like went this tirade, and I would like finally answered and sent her voicemail. I'm like, yeah, I totally understand. Like, look, like, here's my LLC, you know, I think it's best we go ahead and cancel this call because my program design guy was like, what the fuck is wrong with this lady? I'm like, I have no idea. And so it just made me realize, and you know, as someone who has very high involvement directly with someone who struggles with mental illness, my brother, borderline bipolar depression, I thought I was like just very isolated, right? But it's like, maybe people don't have that, but they're struggling mentally. And my parents are very involved with NAMI, National Alliance of Mental Illness, and I've done a lot of fundraisers for them, but like never really kind of saw and understood like how many people out there are really struggling, people that are just like not mentally well. And it was a little scary. So that's something that, you know, in terms of like for women's fat loss, obviously like you guys probably are listening to this, like you are not suffering and struggling to the extent of the people that were engaging with my stuff. But mental health is so important for fat loss. Like, it is so important because these people that have these mental health issues, like they couldn't even show up for calls. They couldn't even like engage and like understand the concepts. And they were just going on these weird, wild tangents. And if we're off mentally, we're not going to be executing well. Like, they couldn't even show up to a call. So if you take it down a level, like, okay, maybe I'm not a psychotic person, but if I take it down a level, like, oh, you know, I do struggle with my mood sometimes, and I do struggle with my mindset and like wanting to give up. And I do, like, if you take it down a level from like that to that, you're going to have a harder time adhering to your nutrition training because you're going to be talking yourself out of doing things that you need to be doing, right? So mental health is massive, 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 and so underrated. And it's like, you know, that's why we have like our mindset coaching that we do, our accountability coaches, and why we stack habits the way we do to really help overcome that and change that mindset. Okay. So that's number 4. So the other thing is I realize is this taught me a lot about women's fat loss. Is people have too much fucking time. Like, so, what I've observed on social media, like the amount of like people would be like going back and forth for hours on DMs, and we're talking about this and that. And the second you are like, okay, cool, like I can help you. Let's book a call with my program design guys. And they're like, oh, I don't have the time. It's like, dude, you just fucking you spent 30 minutes engaging with me on Instagram. Like, you have the fucking time. And it made me realize, like, we just make excuses not to put work in, right? We do as humans what's easiest. And it's kind of like a shitty thing about humans, but it's also like a nice thing because it's something we do get to work on. But we have too much time. And if you're ever saying out there, like, I don't have enough time to do this, that's like the biggest excuses I hear of, oh, I didn't have time to do it, right? Some time. It's like, no, you just have shit time management and you don't prioritize things that are important to what your actual goals are. If your goal is to be wealthy, what are you prioritizing to actually create that wealth? If your goal is to lose fat, what are you actually doing to prioritize your time to do that? It's like you got to kind of time edit what you're doing throughout the day, right? Where you're spending your energy. That's number 4. So number 5 is humans are negative in nature. And this taught me a lot of women's fat loss because, my coach Amber, my head coach, she does a great job. A lot of like positive affirmations with our clients and like getting in a more positive mindset. She works really well with a lot of those clients that do struggle with that. But humans are just negative in nature. Like they'll just, the amount of negative comments I got. And what's weird is like 96% of my followers are women, but for some reason my stuff was still getting pitched to men. And so I'd have like a lot of men just comment dumb stuff, like the dumbest things. And like in the beginning I was engaging back, just like kind of trolling them because it was funny. And I was just like, why am I wasting my time? This is like the dumbest shit ever. Like people have too much time. Like, why are you doing this? Like, I don't have time to go back and forth with you and argue about something that doesn't even matter. Like, I don't care about you. I don't care what you said about me. Like, I don't know why I'm engaging with you. But, we wake up and it is we are negative. I've talked about this a million times. We're negative in nature. We overlearn negativity, and that's how we as humans survive on this planet, right? Survival, right? Our survival. We run. We get scared. Like we fear things, right? And that's what made us survive on this planet. But it is not what's going to take us to the next level. We are not just surviving anymore. We are trying to thrive and be the best version of ourselves in this world nowadays, right? But we still have this reptilian brain part of us that's like, I'm still surviving, So positive affirmations are great. Habit stacking is great. Getting momentum, seeing progress, like having a coach cheer you on. Those are all things that are going to put you in a positive mindset. And just a lot of times when people aren't seeing results, it has zero to do with the actual approach they're doing. It has everything to do with a negative self-talk, with talking themselves out of doing things, just the negative body image they have, just the negative relationship they have with food. It's all this negativity. When you can kind of break that and you can become more positive, that's when shit starts happening. So I thought I'd share this with you because it was really interesting. I thought it was cool that I was able to go as viral as I did. I had reels with millions of views on it and thousands of comments, which I've never had before. And it was just cool. It was a big learning experience for me, and a lot of things I was like, oh, that's exactly like women's fat loss. Like so much of it. So anyways, I hope this helps, kind of where your journey is and for you to actually see results. If you like this, forward to a friend. Love you. Enjoy the rest of your day.